on. It's emotional. We've all lost way too many people to cancer. But I guarantee you this, cancer is not complicated molecularly. If you'll talk to the cancer patient, your family, or the oncologist, what do you think? Guess what the number one property of cancer is going to be? Acidosis. This doesn't even surprise people who don't know that. This makes sense. All cancer patients, 100% of cancer patients are acidic. Their pH is acidic. That doesn't surprise you. But let me tell you what will surprise you. Guess what the number two property of cancer is? It's a term called hypoxia, which means lack of oxygen. You're being introduced, this isn't an appliance. You're being introduced to a medical grade device from Japan that's alkaline in its very nature. If you don't know that, I'm going to show it to you. You're halfway home to that Nobel teaching anyway. And you know it's super oxygenated because it's OH negative. It's one O and one H, right? It's 50% O and 50% H. Guess what the O is? Oxygen. You might be hearing some, wow, crazy, way too hard to hear stories about people that had cancer and no longer have cancer. People that were diabetic and insulin-based and no longer take insulin. People that had Crohn's where there was no cure and they don't have Crohn's with AR-type diseases going away. We've heard all these stories, and they're hard to hear, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Let me go on record right here, being filmed. I'm not here to tell you that this water cured them. I'm not telling you this. This isn't magic water. I'm not going to tell you this water cured them. What I do want you to hear is that what this water did is it took the 73 trillion cells in your body and it moved it alkaline. The way God made your body, and your own immune system beefed, and you beat those diseases. I don't want to go on record and tell you that from that standpoint. Hey, let me tell you something that's going to really surprise you. In Japan, the #1 country in the world, you know, we don't talk about pH in the United States. Even the medical doctors will tell you this. Now, you don't have to be a medical doctor to know what I'm saying is true. You know why? We go to medical doctors, right? Right. And they test for a lot of things, don't they? Mm-hmm. Want me to name a couple and let you guys name a couple? They check your cholesterol, triglycerides, your sugar, right? What else do they check for? You've had all these tests done, right? Your blood, your temperature, your weight. You know, I always tell people, no matter how, when's the last time someone got their pH checked? And everybody's thinking, oh, it's just not me, but I'm sure everyone else did. Who got their pH tested? You know, it's not something we do here. Now, I happen to know, because I deal with a lot of surgeons and I talk to a lot of doctors, it does happen. But it happens like in a crash unit, you know, through your urine when you're crashing, you know, through the emergency room, trauma center or something like that. But as far as coming in, stick your finger out, you know, that's not really happening, is it? You know, this is a fact. In Japan, not only do they check your pH, it's the first thing they check. They don't even know how to start homeostasis until they know where your pH is. Now, as crazy as that is to hear, I'm going to show that to you. It's a different way of approaching health. Before I show you, I need you to hear what I'm talking about. That's going to be easy. But I need you to hear what I didn't say. That's going to be difficult. Now watch. What was I saying? You heard this pretty clear. I'm talking about changing your pH at the cellular level. Right? At the cellular, those 73 trillion cells are moving them alkaline. Everybody heard that. Okay, I need you to hear what I didn't say. I want to be clear on this. There's medical people in the room, and you're going to talk to the medical community. I wasn't talking about your blood pH. They're different. So your blood pH doesn't change. Your blood pH has hardly any regulation. Very little regulation. Your blood pH, 7 is neutral, right? Your blood pH is about 7.365 of a hundredth of a point. And if it moves a tenth of 1 point to the left, you're probably going to go into a coma. Mm-hmm. A tenth of 1. If it moves a tenth of 1 point to the right, you're probably going to expire. Mm-hmm. Now, based on that, people are going to tell you in the United States, well, what we don't know about pH. They're going to say, hey, it doesn't matter what you eat or drink on this planet. Your body's going to make it alkaline. Here's what they're saying. It doesn't matter what you eat or drink on this planet. Your body's going to make it 7.365. And that's the truth. Bet your life on it, that's the truth. It doesn't matter what you eat or drink, your blood, your body's going to regulate it and reach homeostasis at 7.365. Now let me tell you why you came today. Let me tell you what I came to teach you about other countries. At what price? What did your body have to do to regulate that? They didn't wave a wand. It wasn't magic. It didn't just go ding, 7.365, right? There's a molecular process that went on that we don't teach here. And I'll teach it to you, and then I'll show it to you. It's real simple. To teach it to you, let's just say your blood's a 7, round number. And you put a 6 in it. That's 10 times more acidic than your blood. That's not even a big deal. So all your body has to do is go reach into your body and grab alkaline minerals, magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, and it leaches those out and reaches homeostasis at 7. Does it on autopilot. The younger you are, the easier it is. But if you know pH, pH is logarithmic. pH has a algorithm. Here's where life changes. When you put a 5 in your body, that's 100 times more acidic. Now, what worked yesterday isn't going to work today. It's got to go in and leach out all those minerals. Not times 10, times 100. That one's going to sting a little bit. When you put a 4 in your body, guess what that is? That's 1,000 times more acidic than 7.365. And bet your life you're going to get there. But how does it get there? It goes in and leaches out 1,000 times the minerals. You weren't really designed for that. You're going to be left over with that disease, that inflammation, because you're mineral deficient. Matter of fact, the older we are, our doctor has them on us, don't they? I tell this to a 40, 50-year-old, and they're like, my doctor has me on magnesium and potassium and calcium, now that I think about it. Yeah, because we're running through that mineral. Now, here's the bad news, because that sounded like bad news. When you put a 3 in your body, that's 10,000 times more acidic than your blood. And God didn't make our body. He wasn't created for that. It's going to leach it from places you can't afford to leach it, and you're going to be left over with all that, whatever's left over. I'm going to tell you where it goes. It goes to fat first, because fat doesn't sting, and it burns it out of there. And, maybe we're younger, but you know what? When we get older, it's harder for diet. We try this diet, all that stuff worked when we're younger, but we get older, none of our diets are working, because we're so mineral depleted on them. But then it goes up a notch, and it goes to muscle, and it starts stealing it out of there, right? You look at the diseases that we have with muscle. It's scary in the United States. And then it goes up a notch, and it goes to where? It goes to bone, and it steals it out of there. Look at osteoporosis. Go home and Google it. Osteoporosis in the U.S. versus Europe or Japan. It's not even close. Why are we so far apart? Because of our Western diet from a pH standpoint. And everyone else says, pH, what does it have to do with it? Ding. There's the problem. We don't know anything about it, do we? But then where do you think it goes? It goes up a notch. This one's going to sting. It goes to brain, because brain has priority. And it steals it from there. You look at dementia and Alzheimer's in the United States versus the rest of the world. Hey, come on, I'm not telling you something you can't look up. Alzheimer's used to be our 92-year-old grandmother's disease. Amen? Amen. Hey, Mimi's got Alzheimer's. We're like, not good at all. But how old's Mimi these days? She's 93. And we're like, I hope I get there, 93. Bless her heart, but 93. But is that the case? No, it's our 50-year-old brother now, isn't it? It's our uncle and our cousin. Well, what do they have onset dementia for in their 40s or 50s? They depleted that mineral. And I'm going to show that to you. I know that's hard to hear. What do you think happens when women are pregnant? What do you think the first thing doctor does? Prenatals. Why? Why prenatals? Because the placenta's going to get all the minerals, the magnesium, the potassium, the alkaline minerals. Mama's going to be left with whatever's left over. And because she doesn't have enough for both, she has morning sickness, her feet swell, hands tingle, all those things that you're thinking, man, she's going through a lot. Yeah, she's going through a lot. And the doctor knows it's going in, packing them full. Yeah, I have a 10-month-old, I have a 12-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, I have a 25-year-old. We space them out for sure. And my wife's considered geriatric in her pregnancy because of her age. So don't tell her I said that live. But let me tell you about her. Never had the first morning sickness. Never had, her feet didn't swell. Her hands didn't tingle. None of those things. Her OB is even like, you're not dealing with any of these things? Young women deal with these things. Well, what do you think it is? She's so mineral packed. For 10 years we've been drinking this water. So what do you think's happening? Yeah, she got plenty for the uterus, for her placenta, plenty for the baby, plenty for her left over, and still plenty left over. Yeah, she's not going to have all those things. And that's the things I want to share with you from those standpoints of pH. The third property I'm going to show you, and I'm going to crank this up. This water's itty-bitty molecularly. That's hard to hear. This water's small. Because this water's small, it's going to superhydrate you at the cellular level. So there's two types of hydration. There's hydration at the cellular level. Hydration is simple. I asked him if he liked something to drink. He says, no, I'm good. Here's what he's saying. My tongue isn't sticking to the top of my mouth. I'm not thirsty. Well, he must be hydrated. But hydration at the cellular level, that's a different game. That's where inflammation goes away. That's like an IV. You ever went and got an IV and life got better? Yeah. It's just water with minerals in it. but it's itty bitty. It's itty bitty. See, when you drink H2O, H2O is big. H2O is bulky. Hey, I've tried to share this with people over the years that just tell me, brother, I don't even drink water. Why? It's bulky. It slows me down. I don't like the taste. I don't even drink it. Well, let me tell you what they're telling you. It's because you could drink a little bit of water and hear it in your belly. Yeah, it's going to slow you down. Don't let somebody pound a bunch of H2O and go try to play ball with them or go try to take a walk or do something. They're going to be like, oh, I just drink a lot of water. Give me a minute, right? But does that happen with an IV? You go the other way, don't you? You're like, hold on, get this thing out. I'm full of energy. You've never told a doctor, take this out. I'm full, right? Because it didn't go to the belly. It went to organs, tissues, cells. It got into the cellular level, which this water's going to do. So we're talking about hydration at the cellular level. This is a great book, if you can pick it up. Your body's many cries for water. He says, you're not sick, you're thirsty. First time I heard that, I thought, man, that's catchy. I'm not sick, I'm thirsty. And I'm thinking, well, maybe so, but, I know people that are on medication sick. Maybe I'm not. And he goes, no, read the rest of my book. Quit taking medications for dehydration. You're clinically dehydrated at the cellular level and don't know it. And people say, well, I'm not in that group. 98% of us in the United States are clinically dehydrated at the cellular level and don't know it. That means he's hydrated and none of us are. And then half the room will be like, oh no, I'm in his club. There's no way I'm dehydrated. Then you go to the doctor and he says, you're dehydrated. And you're like, you missed me, doc. I'm the water nut. I don't drink all that stuff. I drink this. And he says, how many do you drink a day? I drink 6, 7 a day. There's no way I'm in that club. And he's going to tell you, maybe you need to be drinking 26 or 37 because you are in that club. And how is that? Because you're drinking the wrong water. You're drinking water that doesn't have the ability to hydrate you at the cellular level. And I'm going to show that to you from that standpoint. Let me teach you hydration and I'll get started. Hydration is not a phenomenon. You can watch a YouTube of how to get hydrated at the cellular level. And here's how it works. Those 73 trillion cells I talked about have little ports. Those ports are actually hexagonal in shape, if you want to know. And what hydration at the cellular level is when you can get minerals and supplements small enough to get into a port, filter, and come out the other port. That's hydration at the cellular level. It's just got to be small enough to get in there. So let me teach that to you before I show it to you. H2Os bind. They bind molecularly. The scientific term for that is called surface tension. Some bodies of water have more surface tension than others. Who agrees with that? Yeah. And so when they bind to 20 molecules, think of that water as like golf balls. But when H2O binds at 40 molecules, think of it as like softballs. The water's getting bigger. When H2O binds at 90 molecules, think of that as like basketballs. Are you with me? Now, if I had a big bucket in front of me, and it was full of golf balls, softballs, and basketballs, hundreds of them, and it took all three of us to pick up the big old bucket, and we got a running start, and we threw those properties up against a chain link fence, a backstop of a dugout. Well, who believes most of those properties are going to hit the fence and fall down? Yeah. But who believes if you stood on the other side of the fence, some golf balls would come through that fence? That's hydration at the cellular level. So how are you going to get super hydrated at the cellular level? You got to throw a lot of buckets at it. When does that sound familiar? Ask your doctor if you should be drinking water. What does he say? Yeah. I want to be healthy, doc. How much should I be drinking? A lot. You need to be drinking a lot of water every day. Right? Does that even sound? Let me tell you what he's telling you. If you'll drink you a lot of H2O today, a lot of water, a lot of bottled water, there's enough little bitty golf balls in there to make a difference. But to get to them, you got to drink a lot. And all these softballs and basketballs, that's what slows you down. That's what's bulky. That's what doesn't process. It bypasses the cells, bypasses the organ, and you excrete them out. But some of those golf balls make a difference. Are you with me? This water is itty bitty. It's 4 molecules, 5 molecules. I'm going to show that to you. Imagine these being like BBs and smaller pebbles, a cup of them. And I tossed them at the fence. Who believes they're all going through? That's hydration at the cellular level. That's what an IV is. That's why you don't get full on an IV, because it's going to organs and tissues. I have people tell me all the time, if I drink your water and it goes to my belly, hey, it's not going to your belly. Just like an IV doesn't go to your belly. Some little bit of it does. Where does an IV go? Cellularly. You feel it going in. You can feel this water coming in because it's medical grade water. So I want to show you all those things. I want you to note your C's so I can go quick. Who's ready to get started?